The Northtown News Magazine is brought to you in part by eVoter. eVoter is proud to be a sponsor of the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine, and I'm going to cut the Cook County budget.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson, and welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson, and welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Hi, I'm Marty Levinson, and welcome to the Northtown News Magazine.
Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Come on, baby, don't you wanna go?
Hi there, I'm the real Marty Levinson.
Avi Meyers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine, a presentation of Sonny Hirsch and myself. First of all, thank you very much, Marty. We do appreciate it. And dial us up on the web, www.ntnm.org. communitypolicingcaps24.org. As you know, all four Cook County Board presidential candidates on the Democratic side and one of the Republicans have done, hi, I'm Marty Levinson. And we get a chance now to present one of the leading candidates, got a great write-up in the Trib, Terry O'Brien. How you doing?
Good, Avi. Good to be back on your show.
First of all, pleasure, and how's the campaign going?
Campaign's going well. We got a full team in place with hundreds of volunteers helping us out on the street to get our message out to our taxpayers here in Cook County.
Yeah, I've been dealing with John Davis. He's been sending me all the PR releases and all that, and he's a pleasure to deal with. Not to mention Deshauna, your campaign manager.
Deshaun's campaign manager. Rich Pope's handling the field operations. We have a opposition research, media group, fundraising group. John Davis, as you mentioned, is handling the press. We're on Facebook, Twitter, website, you name it. We're covering it all.
I get your Facebook stuff. It's funny because it's almost like a stock ticker for the county board race. I see the Dorothy Brown stuff. Todd Stroger's not quite doing as much. Then I like to call him Scott the Slanderer Sissick from Tony Preckwinkle's campaign. Oh, I just had a donut, and this guy's horrible. Oh, and I just had a toothpaste in my mouth, and oh, that other candidate is horrible. So, but you've been running. I see the stuff from John. It's like straightforward stuff. I mean, Stroger gets punches, but you guys are at least punching him face to face, and
We're getting our message out. We have a very good message, as you are well aware, for the years that you've had me on your show from the Water Reclamation
Very
District.
much. You've always been a real good government guy. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, I do want to say hi to the McKenna boys and the Ermiters, and most importantly, hi Kathleen. How you doing? Okay. So let's talk about your message.
Well, the message is we've been run a fiscal responsible ship at the Water Reclamation District. As I have said around this county, just last year alone, we're very tough economic times, and the agency abated, or I should say refunded, $56 million back to the taxpayers. And on top of that, we have held a AAA bond rating for the last 10 years. I don't think there's another governmental agency in the area that can say that they've got a AAA bond rating, and not just from the one bond rating, but from all three, Fitch, Moody's, Standard & Poor's.
What I think people don't understand, when you talk about rebating $56 million, in most government agencies, I know the military does this, the Defense Department, all over the country, people have so much money in their budget, they'll spend it, whatever it is, even if it's not needed, to make sure that they get the same appropriation the next year. You will actually, what you guys don't spend, you actually send back.
Well, not only what we don't spend, but the fact is this time around, we recalled on some 1997 bonds that we had. So there was a large amount of money, and also interest earned on the monies that we've taken in, as well as a couple of lawsuit settlements. So rather than keeping it and spending it on something frivolous, we're sending it back to the taxpayers.
I almost find it kind of laughable that there's so many naysayers who might nitpick, they're being Monday morning quarterbacks at best, taking a look at every single little nitpicky thing that was done by the agency. Yeah. But they got to realize that the net result of your thing is a AAA bond rating that nobody else has, and for as long as you have. And so whatever they might nitpick about, it's like, I'm sure they'd be having us at AA, A, or maybe B minus.
It's funny that all this nitpicking, it's taken 21 years for it to come out. I mean, because I'm probably running for another office, I think people are now looking at the Water Reclamation District. But, we have never been, hampered with the scandal or anything in relationship to corruption under my administration. And I think that's the reason for my low name recognition. But we're going to be bringing that name recognition back up.
You should make more trouble. Yeah, and some of the stuff is so. It's easy too for somebody like Tony Preckwinkle, who's got absolutely no administrative experience. Sorry, Tony, being alderman is not administrative experience. No. Somebody with no track record on things like that to start like. Once you actually get elected to an office, you have a track record, people. I mean, like newer isn't always shinier and better.
Well, not only Tony an alderman, but you have the current president, and what has happened with county government under his leadership? Not much. And then you've got the clerk of the circuit court, who actually is part of county government. And
yes.
What she's saying on the campaign trail is what she should have been doing all along as an elected official, as part of county government. She's part of the problem, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, when you talk regarding the budget issues and stuff like that, her budget is part of county budget. So
it definitely is.
Why hasn't she stepped up to the plate before now that she's running for county board president?
I think you just answered that question.
Pretty good, huh?
Very
That's
good.
because I've been listening to them for so long. Last few months.
You're going to all the meetings. You're talking everywhere. It's like, I get your schedule from John Davis. It's like unbelievable all the places you go to.
I usually say goodbye to my wife in the morning, and then the next day she says, "I'll see you tomorrow morning." That's how busy we've been. But it's been good. It's been positive across the county. People see what we've done, and people who know us from our operations at the Water Reclamation District are behind us 100%. But the only thing I tell people is our opponent in this race is going to be apathy. People need to come out and vote, to voice their opinion, and to that's the only way they're going to change this government, is to come out and vote. Because people have been saddled with this 1% tax. I give the county board members credit that they rolled it back 0.5%, but when I'm elected, I'm going to roll it back the other half. So people look out.
I particularly like what the Tribune had to say, because the Tribune came out with an editorial that basically talked about the only candidate who asked for an immediate rollback without making, these guys are saying, oh, well, we'll have to think about it, then we'll have to find another revenue source and blah, blah, blah. And the Tribune said the only candidate willing to make an immediate cut was you, and they said Advantage O'Brien.
And the reason, you've got to do it right away is if you don't, then you start becoming dependent on it.
Yeah.
So if you become dependent on it, you'll never roll it back. So if you roll it back right at the beginning, make those hard decisions right away, which we're not foreign to and we've always done at the Water Reclamation District, I think things will be headed in the right direction.
Yeah, it's one thing people don't realize. It's like you had over 3,000 employees when you started, and you got 2,200, and you didn't even it wasn't like one of those take a knife and go cut people like crazy. You did it through natural attrition.
Through attrition, let people retire. But the other thing too, while we had 3,000 at one time and we're down to 2,056, we've taken on additional responsibility as an agency, stormwater management, which we didn't have before. So that's even saying something in itself.
So people are getting more bang for the buck in a $56 million rebate to boot.
Yep.
It sounds good. People also don't realize, all the revenue that's come from by not selling property,
yeah,
and by holding on to it. You have a continual flow of rentals and other things coming into you.
Well, and that's a policy decision that was made by the board when a couple of the other governmental entities in the area approached us to buy some of our property for their their operational purposes. And then we started looking at that. It's like, well, hey, this property could be of value to us from the standpoint of keeping our tax levy low. And that's what we decided, is that we would only lease the property rather than sell it. Unlike some other entities in the area, that's assets to the Water Reclamation District. So
well, I know in the city of Chicago, for instance, that they don't need a school anymore. They sell it cheap to get it off to another school, and all of a sudden they need to build a school again, and oops,
yep,
need another 20 mil.
Yeah, so we're very frugal in spending the taxpayers' money.
Yeah, it definitely makes a lot of sense. And so you're hitting the campaign trail, so you're all over the county, I imagine.
Yeah, we're, like I said, going from morning, noon to night, hitting every community and every corner of the county. And as I said, it's been very receptive. The poll came out last week. We're not concerned about it whatsoever. We know that our name recognition is low, but it's a matter of a family and friends campaign that's going to make us successful, like it has in the past with our races for the Water Reclamation District.
Yeah, the first time you ran without anybody's support and without people basically knowing you, and you got to meet people, and you didn't even have the support of your own work committeement.
No, and I only had one endorsement in that campaign. It was the Pioneer Press. So, all the other papers and all the other committeemen, and people don't realize. People are thinking that I'm the machine candidate. I mean, some of the other candidates have alluded to that, but the alderman's got to remember she's a committeeman too,
Yeah.
which is part of the old machine mechanism, and then also Todd Stroger. So, but we're getting our message out, Avi. It will be a very successful February 2nd.
Well, at this point, and I feel it's incumbent upon me to tell people at this particular point, Jewish Chicago at this point is actually out today, January 7th, when the show was first airing. And of course, it was my pleasure, and I'll let everybody know on TV right now that basically the easiest endorsement I had from any of the race was endorsing Terry O'Brien. Terry is so far and away the best candidate for this job. He has demonstrated he is on record in an executive administrative position, demonstrating the kind of common sense economics and good management skills that have been needed in Cook County so long it's not even funny. And it's like the easiest thing in the world to tell all of you, whatever you do on Election Day, or if you do early voting, go out there and vote for Terry O'Brien. He's as good as anybody on the ballot.
Avi, thank you very much for those kind words.
And first of all, and they're true words. I mean, it's such an easy decision to make. You really have an outstanding record. If people want to check your website out,
they go to o'brienforcookcounty.com. And the office number, campaign office number is 312-733-8003.
Thank you very much, Terry O'Brien.
Thanks, Avi.